Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back, America. Once again, it's your boy Johnny Quest and my man Slim Jim Longfoot. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another episode of the Nerd Strip Club. This time, guys, we're going to do a little something special for you. We're bringing back special guests. We told you we would. We told you this season we're going to have guests. We're going to have people on there. So we have the lovely Queen G that's going to talk about the one and only, the top topic of the world, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and what it's about for her and what it's about for us. So without further ado, let's kick that intro.
The intro, totally, dude. Yo, what's up, world? It's your man Slim Jim Longfoot, aka the GOAT King of America, with Johnny Quest Gaming to my right. Welcome to the Nerd Strip Club, episode 15, where we get nerdy and dirty up in this thing. So, let's shake your tail feathers. Let's get right. You know what I'm saying? We about to make it do what it do. So, if you haven't already, make sure you share this live stream, this podcast, like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Subscribe. We live, baby. We live. So let's get to it. As without further ado, I'm not even gonna give y'all the this young lady is one of the biggest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans I think I have ever came across in my life, and that's saying something given that I've been a Turtle fan forever, he's been a Turtle fan forever, and she's been a Turtle fan forever. And the fact that we have now come up with the Trinity, it's like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman up in this thing now, so here we go. Without further ado, the Queen G22 Deuce is in the building.
Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me here. And I just wanted to put it out there. I don't think I'm the biggest TMNT fan, but I am the biggest Donatello fan for sure. I am self-proclaimed like his future wife.
So that picture I just had in my head, it's gonna go in tow with it. It's going and it was meant for her to be here because our colors aren't purple just for you. These are our colors. These are our normal colors on the channel. So
normal.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? So boom.
This is perfect. It's very fitting. See, I feel at home already. It's great.
That part.
So Queen, I gotta ask you, I know people ask this all the time. What made you get into Ninja Turtles? Where did it start? Where's your journey? How did that come across?
Yeah, my journey started early, as a child. Me and my brother, it started with coming home after school and watching the cartoons. And then my mother peeped that my brother and I were starting to watch these cartoons faithfully after school, Saturday mornings. And then she started going to flea markets, right? At that time, trying to get a whole bunch of Ninja Turtles. I think they were still, back then, they were like $4.99. She wanted to get us a whole bunch of them. So she went to the flea market every Saturday and would bring home my brother and I Ninja Turtles. And it just became a thing. It was just something me and my brother had in common and made our relationship amazing to this day. So yeah,
that part.
The Turtles. Go ahead, Slim.
I was going to ask you, Johnny Quest Gaming, what was your first experience into the Ninja Turtles? Because mine is a trip, but I want to hear yours first.
Well, mine is not that amazing, I would say, per se. It was a store called Target. Well, not Target at the time. I think it was something else called at the time. Maybe it was Target. Anyway, I was at home and my mom used to always bring me like a toy home, like once a week because I get good grades or whatever. Always been a nerd to this day. So nerd all the time. So, she brought me this straight A toy home. And ironically enough, my first toy was Donatello. So
snap.
Right. So I get this
You're
turtle.
So smart, even as like a young man. That's great.
I didn't pick him though. She picked him, so I gotta give her the credit for that. But I remember looking at it and I was like, "What is this?" And I'm just trying to figure out. As a kid, you just grab a toy, and if it bends, it folds, it's got accessories. Then guess what? That's your toy. So from that point on, this was my dude. Then I think maybe like a week later, the cartoon show came on. And I
Okay.
was like, okay, I'm in. I gotta have every last one of them. I gotta have them all. I gotta have the rat guy. I gotta have everybody. You know, this is what I'm thinking as a kid. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is it. And so my mom was like, that was a really bad damn decision because now I got him strung out on crack on these turtles, and now it's turtle cereal, it's turtle ravioli, it's turtle pizza, turtle blanket. She's like, you know what? Next time I'm bring your ass home some books because apparently the turtles was the wrong decision. And but she got me strung out on the turtles. So that's pretty much what happened. My mom brought it home and fell in love with it from there. It was just like, you know what, this is it. This is the shit. So
Shout out to all the moms.
Hey,
Do what you're saying. Yes.
with this being said, shout outs to my dad on this one. Okay, so we're from the 80s, so you know what I'm saying. So we had like Thundercats, we had G.I. Joe, we had Transformers, and so it was funny that when I first heard of like my dad, he was telling me that this cartoon was on about some talking turtles. Now, when he said that, the way he said it, and then I was listening, I was like, talking turtles? That sounds stupid. That's what I was thinking to myself because I was like, and it's funny because, here I am, I was in love with Thundercats. I was in love with robots from another world and all of this type of stuff. But the concept of talking turtles sounded just so weird to me. I was like, that's just weird. And I had forgot about it. My dad, he told me about the cartoons, about some talking turtles, and I forgot about it. Then one morning I was up and I caught an episode and I was like, this is cool. And then I thought about it, I'm like, wait, this is the show my dad was talking about. He was talking about them talking turtles. And then from that point, I freaking fell in love with them. And it was 2 years later, it was during the Christmas of 1989 when I got my first my first 3 Ninja Turtle toys. The first Ninja Turtle that I got was the same one he got, who is your favorite, Queen G, Donatello.
I had
Donatello.
one Donatello.
Right, Donatello, General Track, and Crane. Those were my first 3 Ninja Turtle toys.
Wow.
And from there, it was on. It was
Love
on.
at first sight.
So what made you choose Donatello? That's the biggest question. Probably everyone on the show wants to know what made you choose Donatello.
Donatello first intrigued me just because he was purple. As a small girl, I was into like purple. I don't even know why I said that. I'm a grown woman. I'm still into purple and pink. But yeah, he was purple. And I was an athlete my whole life. And even as a small child, I was just really into like sports and activities and stuff. And like science and math and all that kind of stuff was just like not my thing. So I think I gravitated towards him also because I wanted to be, like that intelligent, that smart. And I was just really thought that was cool how he could get the turtles out of almost any situation that they get in. Donatello is the one that helps them get out of it, at least to figure out how they're going to do it. And I just felt like he was kind of overshadowed. Like he was like, he was like the underdog. And I always have love for the underdogs. And I thought, like, why aren't more people into this silent leader? So I admired that from Donatello, just like from the beginning. After the purple, it was just the intelligence, him kind of being the captain behind the captain. And then, of course, as other things came along, he was one of the better characters to be with, to use in the video games because he had the reach. And then also with that, like, how cool is it essentially that Donatello was whooping ass with a stick? I mean, it's a bow stab, but I mean, all the other turtles have some type of real shit, and he is whooping ass with a stick. I just thought that was really cool. That he was so smart that Master Splinter thought he would be best using a tool that he could really use his brain with, that wasn't just something just, sharp or something like that. So there are a lot of reasons why I think Donatello is just the greatest of all time, but that's how it started.
See, guys, write down your notes. Nerds win. Just remember that. Remember that in
Hey,
the street.
that
Just write
part.
that down. Put it on the clipboard. I mean, I love Donatello. I think he was an awesome character. I think Master Splinter was very wise on the way he picked the different weapons for the turtles because he could have gave Donatello anything. He gave him a stick because he doesn't need much else other than the
Right.
stick because he's so
The
resourceful
brain, the
and he's
brain is
intelligent.
already there. He's
Right.
already there. So he has the most simple weapon that he can do the most with in the sense because first and foremost, when it comes to reach, y'all already know playing fighting games, video games, period. That reach, like Donatello, he is number one to have in the game. Like I play with Donatello in the game, like, hey, I be Yeti. I be like, pop, pop, pop.
They tell you right in the first game, if you lose Donatello early, you're pretty much screwed.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's funny too because I was recently playing the new one.
Shredder's
And
Revenge.
yeah, Shredder's Revenge, and it was a part that I couldn't get past. It was who was it? Was it who was it? What boss was it? Dang it! It might have been Leatherhead. Was it Leatherhead? I
Was
can't
it
remember.
Leatherhead when he was coming up
Yeah.
out of sewers? I'm trying to think. Like
It might have been Leatherhead. I can't remember because now I'm drawing a blank because I'm thinking about the comic book and all the stuff I just seen in the comic, which I got to talk about that in just a second because I think that is a cash grab, by the way. But I couldn't win. I kept losing because I go to Michelangelo because, no offense, Michelangelo's my favorite turtle. He is.
That's
He's all.
okay. He's my second.
It's his party
favorite.
dude.
I'm okay
It's
with
my
that.
party dude. My party dude. I can't help it. Can't help it. But so I lost with everybody. But Donatello, I clicked in one with Donatello. I'm like, wow, how's Donatello win? It's because of the staff, man. It's because of the reach. He keeps them away the whole time. But definitely, definitely awesome. I think
Very awesome.
he has that effect on him that if you remember Alvin and the Chipmunks, remember Simon?
Yes. Yeah. He's like a little Simon. Yeah.
Simon. Definitely Simon. So I think that is pretty awesome about Donatello. I do though, reading the comics and watching the cartoons, I do wish they did incorporate a little bit more of his technology into some of his stuff, just a little bit more. And the only reason why I say it is because, being a comic artist and drawing myself, I tend to want to see things a little bit different than the norm. I love the way the Turtles have always done things, but I would like to see them incorporate a little bit more of their style. Because me, I'm still on the fact that I want to see Raphael with a New York tattoo. That's just me. That's just me. I just want to see him with an NY tattoo somewhere on his shell or on his arm. I think that would be cool. But
he should have a tattoo. He really should.
right,
He should. I don't. Yeah. Why doesn't he have one?
I don't know, man. I guess it's kind of hard to go into I guess a tattoo shop and get a tattoo for a turtle. I don't know how
at
his
this point
skin
in
would react.
Well, at this point in the IDW books, he definitely could get that since they have a whole mutant town now, so he should be able to, if you want to go ahead and get him, get tatted up. I don't know if y'all remember, I can't remember that dude, but it was maybe like about 10 years ago on Instagram or like under 10 years ago, something like that. The guy who was doing all those cool turtle drawings with the tats and everything. Y'all remember seeing that?
Yeah, I remember following that.
Yeah, that dude, his art was dope. His art was dope. He had like the turtles and they had tats and they had the New York flavor to their whole.
Oh wow. Yeah, I did not see that. That sounds really cool.
That's when he had the Timber. He had Raphael and Timber. You got to put Raphael in some Timbos. Like if you don't put Raphael in some Timberlands, then you're out your mind. So so Queen, question: your favorite turtle movie of all time? No judgment zone. No judgment. If you say Ninja Turtles 3, it's okay. I'm not gonna take any judgment to you. But if you say it,
First of all, if that was my favorite movie, I would never say it out loud.
I hope you wouldn't.
I would
I'm
not
just
say it
saying. I
out
wouldn't
loud.
rag on you.
No.
I'd just be like,
you got really? You're gonna be like, oh well, thanks for coming out.
Hey, I just got one line from that movie. The guy saying, "What's your sign?"
That sounded really good too. You sounded just like it, for real. But my favorite movie is the original 1990 TMNT #1, the first one that came out. That is my favorite movie. And then my second one is the second one that came right behind it. And then I would go into other movies before I would even think about saying the third one.
In that order, just to think about that, I would go OG, Ninja Turtles 1, Ninja Turtles 2, TMNT.
Yeah.
Even though it was animated, but it was still a movie. It came out in the theaters. the 2014 number one, the 2014, I mean the second one of the 2014, and then Ninja Turtles 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understood what they were trying to do with it, you know, trying to take it back home and all that, but it was just a miss. It was a really big miss. And I would put TMNT, the movie, the 2007 animated one, I would put them up there because I thought it was well done. It's unfortunate, you know, that the companies ran out of money or whatever and they couldn't come out with a sequel. But as a Donatello fan, I wasn't a fan of the movie because his part was very minimal. It was
it
basically
was.
a Leonardo
Yeah, Leo
Raphael
and Raph.
story.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Leo and Raph. Yeah.
I
mean,
would love to see more Donatello in that movie, and then I would be like, you know, it's perfect. But I didn't even know why I was watching it. I was like, is Donnie even here? What am I doing here?
Yeah, because it really felt like a episode arc where it was like a 2-part episode arc, you know, with dealing with Leo and Raph, and then the stone, what was he, a stone dude? I can't remember the villain he was going against. He was like a stone guy. Other than that, you know, it felt like a 2-episode arc between Leo and Raph basically, and you know, it wasn't the full on mesh of, you know, the 4 brothers, you know.
Right.
And so when the 2012 series came out, as a matter of fact, yeah, we gotta rank our Turtle cartoon series as well. When the 2012 series came out, that was when it was like, okay, y'all, okay, that's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. I was digging that. What about you? I already, you know what? I'm saying this. We saying this for the audience because I already know she loves the 2012 series because Donatello was completely and utterly excellent in the series, voiced by, of course, the legendary Rob Paulson, who was the original Raphael in the 80s series. Who I know if he was to call her right now, he would go straight into Dunny mode like, how you doing? Be talking with his gap like, how you doing?
Hey man, you taking the show to a dark direction here, Slim.
My favorite cartoons though actually is the 87 cartoons because that's what I grew up on. I'm a huge fan of the 2012 cartoons because it's the closest thing to the comics. So I thought that was a great, you know, if you didn't read the comics, you know, that's a good way to get into how the origin started and all that. But I'll tell you, when I went to Retro Toy Con and I met, you know, Rob Paulson and Cam Clark and
Leo.
What's his name? Gordon. What's his name?
Not
Barry Gordon. Yes.
Yeah.
When Barry Gordon spoke to me, I felt some kind of way. I really did.
You melted there, didn't you?
I melted. I melted to the point that I think it was like his granddaughter that was sitting next to him. I was making her uncomfortable. I could tell that.
She was like,
you know, I'm not going to take your granddaddy home unless he wants to come home with me. That's his business. But I was just like hearing him talk, you know, as Donatello and just, you know, rehashing, you know, all the memories in the cartoons. I was like, this is hot. Like, you could get it, sir. But I didn't tell him that. I did not tell him that. But it was just really cool to, you know, hear those voices that we grew up on. You know, it was just really cool. But yeah, I totally segue. But 87 cartoons is my absolute favorite.
I gotta say, definitely 87. Man, I can't say that it makes me moist to watch the episodes. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I got a different take.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little
Turtle power.
Maybe just a little bit. Nah, but it's something about the 80s cartoon, man, that just had me locked. Like, you can see my NECA collection. Like, I enjoy. Now, don't get me wrong, Playmates brought it home. They started it for me. But as a kid, I remember looking at the toys and looking at the show, and it just was. I was like, why can't you look like the show? Why can't you look like the show? Like I want, like Shredder. Shredder. When I got Shredder, that was the most disappointing thing of my entire life. I was like,
the original Shredder. I don't.
bro, his forehead. What the hell was that? I was like, this must be Shredder after he got his ass whooped, because his face is coming out of the helmet. So apparently, this is Shredder pre Donatello beating him with a stick or something. I don't know what that is exactly. And then I got Leatherhead, and I was like, where my man get blonde eyebrows from? Like, what's not clicking, Steven? Like, something not going right. So when NECA dropped their first toys, and I saw the Turtles in Disguise, that was probably the first one I seen was the Turtles in Disguise.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yo, this shit is, I don't care how I get it. Ski mask up, I'm about to get this. I got to have it. I got to have everything. And they keep hitting every month with a different toy, a different item. As a matter of fact, Slim, if you queue up that I gotta present this to you. I don't know if you've seen this madness, but the Turtle Mania is at an all-time high. We're not the only turtle freaks in the world, believe it or not. Of course, I mean, you want to believe it.
Definitely know that. You definitely know that.
But these two toys is about to launch in Holothon pretty soon. I don't know if you're familiar with Target Holothons, but this is where you can get the latest, greatest Ninja Turtle toys. And this particular toy will be $50 or maybe more with taxes whenever it releases February 28th. But this actually sold on eBay for $450. Like,
damn.
He had to have it. He had to have it. I thought I was bad, but apparently your boy had to have it. I said, hey, man, if you need it that bad, do what you do. But
respect, yes.
The toys, that was it. But yeah, the 80s, not to go complete different route, but the 80s definitely was my favorite. I think it kind of solidified what was the Turtles about, and it gave kids I don't know, a role model or idol or different ways to envision your heroes. Because naturally, coming from Afro Americans that we are, we don't see representation of ourselves a lot of times in cartoons. So it's a little hard time to identify, especially in the 80s, But when this came out, it was something that no matter who you are, what background you come from, whatever your challenges are, you can see yourself in these heroes. You can become these heroes. If you're a girl, you can become Donatello. If you're a party guy, you can become Michelangelo. So I think that 80s cartoon definitely was everything for kids that they wanted to be. The only thing I can think that came up next that was kind of like that was maybe the Power Rangers that had that type of that following. But for me, 100% was the 80s. I mean, I like 2012. It was cool. I especially liked Donatello's interpretation. I think that was probably the best Donatello interpretation they've ever done. But overall, 80s. Shameless plug for the 80s, but yeah.
80s forever. 80s forever. I don't care what decade we in. 80s forever.
Absolutely.
Forever. The only thing I love about it now is having access to the full 80s.
That is true. That's true. You don't never have to wait for an episode. I mean, I remember sitting by the TV and just waiting, like, man, gotta wait how many days? Nowadays, you just go on Netflix and it's all there. Yeah,
it's all there.
2 days, 3 days.
Right, just be there, just binging, just daggone tie makeshift bandana around your eyes and just be at it. Just.
So what did you guys think about the 03 cartoons then?
The 03 cartoon, now I'm gonna tell you just like this. I thought it was good. For its time. I know for certain Johnny Quest did not like I can't remember what the name of the aliens was, the crane type aliens, but he did not like that Shredder.
Oh yeah,
the Utron Shredder.
No, I did not like that Shredder. I did not like that Shredder. I did not. I mean, keep in mind, I'm a Shredder. I like Shredder, even though he died in like the first issue of the original comic. But
he did.
Again, we go back to the 80s. He did. He died bad. He died really bad. He died really bad. But in the 80s, of course, you had the late great Uncle. I call him Uncle Phil, but you know who I'm talking about. He played his voice, and he was perfect. It was perfect. You know what I mean? And so Shredder, he's a great villain, just straight up. And I see him as being that. So whenever you came out with this thing, I was like, what do you mean? That's not him. No, that's not him. But it is what it is. I love Turtles Forever. Turtles Forever was awesome.
Turtles Forever was a great send off to that, and that solidified everything that we love about the Turtles, being the fact that they are aware of their multiverse, and
Yeah.
so that means that you can create the best turtle cartoon or the worst turtle cartoon, but they are all
Uh,
tied into the multiverse, there isn't quote unquote one type of turtles. You can like the '03 turtles, or you can hate them. You can like the '87 turtles, or you can hate them. You can like the 12, or you can hate them. You can like the new cartoon, or you can hate it. But all of them have their own actual multiverses. And when Turtles Forever came out, I thought that was like so ingenious when they did that. And then when they took it all the way back to the actual drawing board of the original book, it was just like, they ended this perfectly. But I was like, man, but y'all can't end my turtles. Y'all just brought my turtles back. Because even though it didn't last as long as the original series, because the original series lasted from 87 to 96, so that was roughly about almost 10 seasons, basically 9 years somewhat. And this lasted 6 seasons. So I was like, y'all gotta bring my turtles back. Y'all not just gonna leave me. And then of course 2012 came out, and I was like, cool, that's what's up. But also at the same time, 2003 was cool because it brought them up. This was our first foray into the Turtles since our childhood, since the original series ended, and it brought them back into quote unquote the here and now at that time. Wow, I just realized that's 20 years ago. 03. Jesus.
You just showed your skirt. You just pulled your skirt. You saw that? You saw what happened? I was trying to hide it. You know what I mean? It's getting to the point with my beard, I can't hide anymore. You know what I mean? Because my beard is like showing. Sometimes I just tell kids I have
guess what? Hour ago, I was looking worse than you. So yeah, I'm trying to look cute for our guests.
I'm just like,
I was looking like Grady an hour ago.
At this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it just be what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let it be what it is. Let that salt and pepper show out. Yeah.
Well, shoot, I was too young for mine to come out. I was still in my 30s when mine came out, so I was like, nah, I still look too young for this crap.
Hey, man.
My dad loves it though. My dad loves his white. He wanted white hair since he was a kid, and so now he has all white hair.
Respect. Yes.
Can't do it, man. You know how hard it is to go into a store and pick up a bunch of Ninja Turtles, and the guy asks you, like, your son's gonna like that. What?
That's that kid.
Excuse me, sir. Give me my damn toys and let me leave. Respectfully.
I would rather have that because that's what I just put out there earlier. I'm just like, look, I'm 40, just so you understand where I'm at mentally. But like if I walk into like GameStop or the store, like the local collectible store, and try to purchase something, dude, the freaking 20-year-old behind the counter is trying to holler, and I'm like, bro, dude, I'm 40, dude. I'm your mama. Like, stop
what
it.
else would you like with this?
No. I'm still waiting for my salt and pepper to come in.
Well, hey, man, don't rush it. Let it come. Let it age gracefully. So
Yeah,
something that didn't age gracefully,
like on strike, just to mess with me. Like, this is hilarious. These children are hollering at you. I'm like, they're children.
But I mean, honestly, you can't tell. I would think you were like a day over in your 20s. Like, seriously. I mean, let's just be honest.
BDC. I mean, like when I first seen her, I thought you was at least. And it's been a couple of years since I first seen you, so I at least thought you were probably like 24. I was like, wow, this kid right here really loves the Ninja Turtles. Like,
exactly.
She must have grew up like on like 03 or like was a teenager when 2012 came out. She just went down the rabbit hole of Ninja Turtles. Like, oh my god, look at all this cool stuff that came out before I was born.
And then the snobbery comes in, because you try not to be like your parents, but like, what do you know about the Ninja Turtles?
What you know about them?
What you know about them?
Dude, I get that a lot, and I'm like, I'm too tired to even start.
Right. You just said, you know what? Here's what I know about Ninja Turtles. Here's a picture of me from the 80s with some turtles.
Right. So speaking of that, what started you collecting?
Since 1990, just so you know, before it gets started. 1982. I'm in the 1900s, my guy. Leave me alone.
So what age did you start collecting, and what made you start collecting?
I started collecting as soon as my mother was bringing them home. Like all of my original Playmates turtles are from my childhood.
Nice.
And
So lucky.
it's surprising because my brother and we would get in a lot of fights and we lost a lot of weapons, and I got some turtles in the cabinet right now that they got one arm and stuff, but they're valuable to me because I played with those toys. And when people ask me like, are you getting the new Super Sevens or even like the new Playmates, which I'm a huge fan of Playmates. Shout out to Playmates. I'm like this because I'm so loyal to the original figures that I have. I almost feel like I'm cheating on them if I want to go out and get newer figures. Like people be like, "Are you going to get this?" And I'm like, "No, because I already have it. I have the one that was made in 1989. I don't need that one." And not everyone could understand that part, which is why I don't always say that I'm a collector, but I am collecting the NECA, some of the newer, the NECAs and the stuff like that. But a lot of these re-releases of Playmates,
yeah, it's like no point if you already got it.
yeah, I have it.
What?
I have the original, so I don't feel like I need to go out and get it just so I can have it, in package. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth not right now. Maybe 50 years from now, the re-releases will be worth something, but not right now. They're not.
They're not. I mean, honestly, I collected the first original turtles when they resurfaced, like the new Playmates when they resurfaced. They're
Yeah.
hanging up on the wall back there, and I got the turtle van and the turtle blimp because I don't have my turtle van, my turtle vimp. I don't know
Well,
where
you
the
have
hell
to
my
have the
turtle.
turtle van and turtle blimp.
I had it somewhere, but I mean, I had to get this new one because I don't know where the original was at. I don't know. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if
yeah,
you don't have it in your possession right now, then you have to go get it.
right,
But I have the turtle van, the turtle blimp, the helicopter, a whole bunch of the turtle tanks, all that kind of stuff. They're missing some pieces. So I'm not going to go to Walmart and spend money to get the turtle van because I have the turtle van.
right.
I do think the Super 7 and the NECA turtle vans that came out are dope. They look really cool, but I don't want it. I don't need it.
You don't, and you know why you don't? Because there's the one called the Underground Arsenal that kills all of that. That is probably the best turtle van ever created in existence. Shameless
Really.
plug, please sponsor my channel. No, I'm teasing, but but I'll show it to y'all in a minute. I'll show it to you in a minute. But you're right. I think a lot of collectors nowadays they go on what's hot and what's the thing, as opposed to don't understand it. Some collectors collect from the heart. They're not looking for to be on the channel and show off that I have like the guy who bought that toy for $450. I'm sure he didn't buy it for the fact that he's just like a diehard toy collector. He wants to have people come by and eat cheese and wine and say, "You say I just picked up the new latest turtle collection."
Right.
So I respect that.
There's
I do
different
respect that.
levels of collecting, but I would definitely put myself in the category that you stated, which is from the heart. If I don't feel anything towards it, then I don't necessarily feel like I have to have it, right? Like, for example, my own collection, I mostly collect the Donatellos that come out. I get the Super 7, the NECAs, even the Playmate stuff or the whatever, the customs Donatellos. I don't have to have everybody else that comes out. I think they're cool though. I love them. The Triceratons, the Pandacons, Usagi Yojimbo, all of that. But my heart is with Donatello, so that's what moves me.
The Donnie
That's what's
collection.
gonna make her step through the door and say, "What y'all got up in there? Y'all got some on them Dunnies up in there."
I'm taking a mental note because I'm like ways to get money. Donatellos.
Donatellos.
If you just see that in your inbox, you know
Donatellos.
what happened. But I don't know, man. We talked about the TV show. We in the movies. Something that we didn't touch about is the Bayverse. What do you think about the Bayverse turtles? Deep Sigh, right? Deep Sigh.
I have a side first. We're talking about Michael Bay, right? His guys.
Yep.
So when the first one came out, and we hadn't had a movie in a while, I took my brother. We went to the theater, and we went to go see it. I want to tell you guys, and I've started getting more comfortable saying this out loud. When I left the theater, I didn't leave the theater like that was a waste of time. Like, what the hell was he thinking? I didn't leave the theater thinking that. I left the theater thinking nothing, really. You know, like I didn't really know how to process what I had been in hopes for versus what I saw. There were a lot of things that I thought that could have been different, but I didn't hate his movies. There wasn't a wow factor for me. I just didn't, of their anticipation of waiting for this Ninja Turtle movies. I just thought he could have done some things different. Yeah. So
you didn't feel like you saw Donatello on the cartoon, and it was like his tender picture when you saw him in real life with the Michael Bay. He was like,
I would have felt
I'm go
like
home now.
what's that called? Catfish, right? If I showed up and Donatello looked like that, I would be like, bro, why are you 10 feet tall and a giant, you know, like with nostrils?
Right.
I think
Man, I abhor any turtle drawing I see with nostrils. Like me and Jenny was just talking about this before you came on there. I was like, you know, there are two things that you have to be careful on when you're drawing the turtles. First and foremost, I do not want to see them with nostrils. I don't care to see
nostrils.
they don't need nostrils. And second, you have to be careful on how you draw their tails. If you're going to draw them with tails, you got to be careful on how you draw their tails. Otherwise, they don't look like tails.
I was getting ready to post a picture, and I still might do it. It's actually from the Archie comics, and it's the last one, or the second to last one, when they're little turtles. Master Splinter's talking about when they're children. I don't know who it was, but they were standing, looking. All you could see was the back, and it was like a shadow. And I apologize, but that looked like a dick. And I was like, we shouldn't be drawing tails if they're going to look that similar.
You should not. You should not.
Exactly. You know, them boys are already naked. So, you know.
Right. he grabbing for the wrong bow staff. It's the wrong bow staff. Don't do it. No, I'm right there with you. It's like it's some design elements that you can't do, and I think that comes from us looking at the original turtles. You know what I mean, from the 80s. Like it's engraved in our head that this is what the turtles look like.
This is the correct way. Yes.
Yeah. Anatomically, you just don't want to position that there. You know, just saying.
Don't put it there. I was entertained and offended.
See it? So wait, no.
Speaking of the Archie comics, like I have to most definitely the Archie comics. Those were the first Ninja Turtle comic books that I collected, because I didn't collect the Mirage comics growing up, because I got into Ninja Turtles, via the cartoon, and so it was the Archie comics that was popular at that time that I first got into. And if I'm not mistaken, it was either issue 12 or issue 13. I can't remember exactly. That was the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures that I collected. It was during the time that Raphael had just done the black wrestling outfit, which is still one of my favorite designs from him. Wearing that full black turtle. I still wonder. I don't know if it was like in a symbiote type of way, because it was on his mouth, but it wasn't a mask. It was like he was a black turtle. So it's still
like
funny.
A bodysuit.
Yeah, it was like he was like Venom or something like that, or Spider-Man. So, I was just thinking when y'all were just talking then, one good issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures, I think, was issue number 40, when Donatello was back in 1492 when he spoke when he was talking with Columbus. And that was definitely a great issue, and it touched on so many things. If you read that book and how it was they were speaking on some real. They wasn't, doing the Columbus sailed the ocean blue. They was speaking
No,
on
yeah.
how, what Columbus really was. You feel me? And so it was like that was a very good issue.
That's
And
one of the things with the Archie comics, other than what you said. That's actually my favorite comics because it's related to the cartoons. But I just reread the whole series of the Archie comics, and that's one thing that we don't have in our comics now is the history lessons, the education. They have stuff in there, remember, don't do drugs, recycling, not just like cans and stuff. They're talking about toys. There are kids out there that don't have toys. So if you don't like your toys, instead of throwing it away, give it or donate it. Like, there's so much good education in those comics, and it was real. Like, it was real stuff. It like that one where they were I don't know if it was that 1942 one or if it was a different one when they started talking about Indians.
Yeah.
And and they were
that
talking
was it.
about that we stole and did
That
all
was
this
it.
bad
That was
stuff.
it.
That's it. That's it.
I was like, they allowed them to print that because it was honest information. Like, nowadays you can't.
Oh no, you can't say that.
Yeah, you can't say that kind of stuff. Someone will be offended, right? That's really cool that they, did all that, and we're trying that. I mean, that is why our generation is so amazing, right? Because we're constantly educating ourselves, even when we were entertaining ourselves. I mean, kudos to us.
Exactly.
Man, that is 100% accurate, because you look at all the shows back in the 80s, there was always some type of message. Like G.I. Joe had the messages at the end, Transformers had the messages. Like, I think every show had some type of message. Nowadays, we get stuff like the new Velma show where it's so confused and convoluted. You'd be like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with life. But the books, the comics, all of that had that same thing going around where they were just trying to be more to a kid than just let him have adventure. They were trying to tell him a little bit about life. And I think that's something that definitely needs to come back. And it's funny that you say that, because that segues us into our next statement here, or our next segment that we're going to ask you about, is how you feel about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie coming out. If you can cue that for me, Slim. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. It sounds like a video game title,
It
but
does.
it's a movie.
It do.
I
Word.
think that, well, I'm a huge fan of Seth Rogen, right? So I have high hopes, but I also have low hopes because I don't want to be disappointed. From what I've heard, I think that Seth is trying to do the job of targeting both audience, the old heads and the young heads, giving us something back, the type of movie that we've been longing for. And he's adding in some younger type things. I know he's really focusing on the teenage part, and that they're teenagers. They're not giants, grown ass men. He's focusing that they're teenagers. So I think it's gonna be good. I'm hearing that Michelangelo is gonna be a pothead. I know some people are
Yeah,
some people are
he's gonna be
upset that
quiet.
Donatello, he's got glasses, and his, I mean, dude, it is what it is. That is I think for creators and or artists or whoever people do Donatello, that's one of the best ways for them to emphasize that he's smart. Personally, I'd like for them to emphasize more of how handsome he is. Maybe like a suave GQ type of guy. I think that would work better for me. But I don't have a problem with him being the nerdy guy with the glasses, because I'm a nerd and I'm into nerds, so I'm cool with it. But I don't think Seth Rogen is gonna miss with this.
I I got so many mixed thoughts on this, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm a huge Seth Rogen fan, and for that reason, I don't know if Michelangelo's gonna have that iconic laugh. That like, I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried at the same time, because I think right now with a lot of stuff we're going into like the Rick and Morty generation, and I'm a big Rick and Morty fan,
Okay.
huge Rick and Morty fan, love
Oh
it.
my.
You know, it, despite the current controversy that's going on, I do not support what happened, what he did, or what happened with that. That's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother episode of Nerd Strip Club. Shameless plug. Anyway, I really I don't know, man. I think a lot of times, and the ladies can quote me this, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Like, let's just keep it basic. I understand you want to maybe draw in new generations, but why not bring in the characters to get people to learn the characters as who they are, as the reason why they're such a big thing? Because if you show them this weirdness, then 9 times out of 10, kids are going to take it for face value, right? They're going to look at it and say, "Oh, the Ninja Turtles are potheads," and
Yeah.
this weird and it's goofy. And then me as a parent or as a person looking in trying to explain it to you, they're gonna look at me and be like, "Yeah, nah, I like Michelangelo to smoke weed." But I mean, again, I think he can do a good job. I think it's gonna be funny. I think it will be funny. But will
It
it
has
be
to
a
be a
Ninja
little
Turtle
funny,
movie?
right?
Yeah, it's gonna be funny. It will definitely be funny. But will it be a Ninja Turtle movie?
You know what?
I don't think so. I mean, it's me. I could be wrong.
With this being said, I think also he's trying to catch the, like you say, he's trying to catch that wave, because if you remember, of course, in the Mirage books, they were teenagers then and they was drinking beer. So,
True.
that was a way that they were trying to be quote unquote cool then, because teenagers, they do stuff. And so, I mean, even though this was never a characteristic of Michelangelo at any point in his, history, dating almost 40 years, this year being 40 years since Eastman and Laird created them in December of 83. But with that being said, and shout outs to Mike, because he was the first turtle drawn. But
Yes, sir.
and so with that being said, this is something that it seems to go with his character, because he always had that, skater boy, surfer boy personality, Spicoli personality. And if you listen, like Mike, he was so drab back in the day, like he was really sounding like this dude back in the day. He kind of sounded like a stoner. He sounded like a
Yeah,
straight up
he
stoner back in
does.
the day. So, so I mean,
We'll
you
see.
don't,
I've been saying if
it's gonna be a
whatever
hit
you
or a miss.
do,
It's gonna be a hit or a miss.
just go in there open minded. When you see
Yeah.
it, just give it a chance, because with the whole Michael Bay shit and all that or whatever, and people are already talking. Turtle community is already just like just so negative. Like, bro, we haven't even seen anything yet. We've
Yeah.
only heard little snippets of what Seth Rogen may or may not have said.
And I won't lie, because seeing Michelangelo, like when they first showed him take his mask off in the 2014 movie, and before they fixed his face up a big or whatnot, and I seen him, I was like, man, he is up here looking like Daryl Strawberry, like.
Hey, man, the Baybirds needs to be buried up under a damn building, 6 feet in a box with stone shoveled over it and grass and a whole building put on top of it.
And
It's
under
designed.
and under that,
Yeah,
and
that is
under
example doing too much.
and under that would be Bell's voice recordings in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Hey, man, that dude was advocating for throat cancer. Okay.
Yeah.
he no, but I mean, I think as far as like the Turtles generations, a lot of stuff is going is really good. The movie that I think would be great is The Last Ronin. However, I don't know if we're ready for a Last Ronin movie yet, because we haven't got to that point. Because a lot of these movies we kind of skip ahead of the story just to get to what's hot and what's going on right now. But I do think The Last Ronin would be a good movie. However, do I like The Last Ronin? Yes. Do I think that should have been the Turtles' fate? No, not at all. Not even 1%. But I do like the story. I like the drama of it. I like the heartstrings that it pulled at it. But
it's
I
a good
think that'll be a
Elseworld
good
story.
movie.
If you
Yeah,
want to
good
call it a
Elseworld.
what if or Elseworld type story.
Uh-oh.
old man.
She said that she got it. She had to go. She got to drink to this one. Come on, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Come on, come on. She had to hit. You had to hit the drink hard. Come on.
She got to get that turtle
Let's
juice
talk
going.
about it.
Hey.
All right, so The Last Ronin. The first part, I think it would be a good movie. They could do it like a rated R movie.
Definitely.
And I think a lot of adults would go and see that movie if it was done similar to that animated snippet that the media company made that was like, what, it was like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
If they did it that way, it'll be great. How now, my thoughts on The Last Ronin. How? Why? Well, how can I be a fan of any worlds where they all die? And then on top of that,
right.
And I went to I was talking about I went to the Eastman Con. I had a good conversation with Eastman. I had a good conversation with Tom Waltz, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are we doing this? Not only did you kill them all, and now you're trying to introduce me to 4 motherfuckers I don't even know. Like, just
that was my next part.
New turtles. It's like if you're into pets, if you like pets, I'm a dog fan, right? So if my dog passes and then somebody comes over and says, "Hey, I got you a new dog," I'm gonna be like, I'm still mourning over my. You can't just give me a new dog. Like, this dog is nothing like the dog that's gone. It's too soon to bring 4 brand new turtles into this universe that you just kill them off. Is that what we're doing? We're killing them off, and then we're just feeding me 4 new ones. I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't like it. But I'm reading the story because I am a fan of the story. I think it's interesting. And it's a different look into, the side of the Ninja Turtles that we've never had before. It's very mature reading. So I do like this. I like the story, but I don't like the story. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
That's kind of the same thoughts that I have on it because I thought the concept was really cool. I thought it was cool going into it, right? But just to see the turtles go out the way they went, and they went out bad.
They went out bad.
They went out bad because
especially
Raphael
and Splinter, they went out like on a way that they would never act that way. And like all of a sudden, Splinter is just like, fuck it. Yeah. We're just gonna. That's not even like his personality to act that way. It was tough to read.
And I get the twist part of it because out of all the turtles that I think would survive, it wouldn't have been Michelangelo. And like I said, Michelangelo's my favorite turtle. But I guess it was supposed to be one of those things. It's supposed to be the least expected. The turtle would have the most growth. And look at Michelangelo when she moved back, he's like gave me like thumb, like I survived. But it's just one of those things where I didn't expect that to be the character that survived. And for anybody who hasn't seen it, spoiler alert: Michelangelo lives at the end. Psych, he dies. But it's I think it is extremely dark. I don't know why they did it per se. I guess it's supposed to be an Elseworld, but okay, I was okay with The Last Ronin. But this new thing, what she just talked about, if y'all haven't read about it, The Lost Years of the Ronin, Last Ronin is out. It tells a little bit about Michelangelo pre-becoming the Last Ronin, and it's got a really magnificent ass whoop scene before he decides to whoop ass whenever they tried to jump him.
Okay, that scene was dope. Right?
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
The thing with Master Splinter digging off in his ass, telling him you're not going to be a quitter.
Not going to be a coward.
That part. Now, see, that's the Master Splinter that I know, right?
Right.
That's Hamato Yoshi. That's. I was.
What are you doing, Michelangelo?
Get back in there. We do not run. But I think it's one of those things where you don't. Some characters are not meant to be mantle characters, just transferred to here and there. We don't care about new little turtles sprouting up. We don't.
Don't at all.
Don't care. Look, don't be like Venus. Venus. No one cared that she even existed. It was like, but I liked her. I thought she was cool as a cook. I don't know. I'm always looking for something weird and new.
I went back and I watched that again first of all, that whole series was just done poorly.
Yeah,
But
it
if
was.
you think about Venus's character, if that series had been done correctly, she's pretty badass. I mean,
Yeah,
she's freaking, with the whole not teleport, but like psychokinesis type stuff that she could do. And then don't forget when she first met them, she whooped all their asses when she
she did.
She did.
initially showed up. So if that had been done right, and I think IDW reintroduces
They
Venus,
redid it.
They just
They
reintroduced
but
just
she's
Venus
brought her
in
back.
there.
different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she's created.
different.
Mm-hmm.
She's a good character if she's done
Mm-hmm.
correctly.
Yeah,
And see,
yeah.
it was just the whole production of that series that was just like
Awful.
and yeah, straight up because I remember waiting with bated breath when I was seeing the promos of this series when it first came out. I was like, oh snap, we're gonna have a live action Ninja Turtle series. I was like,
Hey, it was still better than Ninja Turtles 3.
It was.
you know what?
Still better than Ninja Turtles 3.
I would watch that over the third movie. No question.
No question
I would.
at all. None.
I was confused. I was like, okay, so Venus is Shinobi, right? That's what her title was. But she ran like this, and she was just like, so she was weak, but strong. It was not a very good portrayal.
Bad stereotype.
It
Bad.
sounds like bipolar to me.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where they draw the characters and you try to doing too much with the character. Like she didn't need that.
Doing
She
too
didn't need
much.
that at all. She could have just been this really kick-ass warrior with a bunch of powers that didn't like the turtles. Maybe she thought she was better or something like that. But I'm all
That
about
part.
women empowered characters. Me, I'm Wonder Woman, my favorite character. So
Fan. I'm a huge fan, obviously, of strong women. And I will say that I know what the creators of the Last Ronin are doing with this new series. With the first issue of the Lost Years, we know that there's one female character, and essentially they're saying that there's supposed to be two. And the one that they just introduced, spoiler alert, if you haven't read it, that's on you. She's very intelligent. Almost, she seems like she's a female baby Donatello. So I'm like, what are you doing to me right now? What are you guys trying to do to me?
they're trying to do a little inclusion.
Choose your side.
It's inclusion. It came to the turtles. It's inclusion. I mean, yeah. I mean, you see it. You saw it. You caught it. You did catch it. That's exactly what it is. I mean, we'll see where the book goes. Another book that I was telling Slim about, if you haven't read it, is the Ninja Turtles, the Saturday morning TV show. Well, this is actually the Adventures of the Ninja Turtles. That thing, man. If the first
That's
issue,
her.
Yep, that's her right there. I was trying to pull it up while you was. That book has got to have every single toy in the entire line in that one book. I was like, man, if this isn't a cash grab that I've ever seen, I got to pull up a picture so I can show y'all. But other than that, the book's okay. It's not the best thing ever. It's kind of like the Archies, but it's got more of a laid back vibe to the original cartoon.
You're talking about the comics that just came out, right? The Saturday Morning Adventures.
Yep. I can find the issue of it. I got a bunch of them. But
what I really like about the Saturday Morning Adventures, which I'm really sad that there's only 4 issues. I would really like more issues since it kind of has the Archie's vibe. The way that it's written, I love it because I can literally hear the 87 cartoon voices in my head while reading, that these issues. Like they really did a good job kind of taking you back home to the cartoons and the Archie series. I love it. I thought the last issue was interesting, going into like Splinter's brain and all that, but I like it. It's too bad that they're only doing 4 issues.
Man, that part was the biggest thing I thought was so awesome was that last. That was one I was trying to pull up was when they went inside of Splinter. I was like, man, if this isn't the old school TV show, 100%, like, I love that. And yes, I do read it in my heads with their voices. I'm sorry.
You can
Watch
hear
over
him,
Splinter for us, April, and let us know by Turtle Come if anything happens.
right? That's Barry Gordon all day.
But I think it was a great book, man. They did. I wish, my dream wish is they would go ahead and bring back the original Turtles. But everybody's trying to make the latest greatest, the
The
best
latest
in the
greatest.
world.
We don't need that. Like,
You don't want it.
I think, but we're saying it. A lot of they were saying it, but we're just not saying it loud enough, I guess. We would be totally happy if they came out with the like 1990s version movie
Right.
today, right? We want to see those
That's all they
funky,
gotta do.
heavy turtle outfits. We want to. That's what we want to see, and it's very simple. It can be low budget, and we're
Right.
gonna love it.
Because now the way the 1990 movie was done by, of course, the late great Jim Henson, who just did such an amazing job, that being his final project before he passed that year in 1990. And it was like, this was perfection right here, like the way the turtles look. It was that was the turtles, you know what I'm saying? And and when you saw them, next to humans, you could see, their shortness, because they, like, even though they're humanoid turtles, they're not supposed to be big. Like, maybe when they get like 20, 30, 40 years old, maybe they might be big like the 2014 turtles, but not as teenagers. You know what I'm saying? As teenagers, they need to be like, with the tallest, what about 5'2" at the tallest, you know what I'm saying, 4'11" at the shortest, you know what I'm saying, something like that. They're supposed to be small guys, and they're fast, you know what I'm saying, they're stealthy, and they're totally awesome, dude. You feel me? That is the lore, that is the legacy of these characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, their name says it all. They're teenagers, they're mutants, they're ninjas, and they're turtles. It says it all right there. And if you ever want to grow them up, you shorten down the Ninja Turtles. So there
Ninja
you go.
Turtles, not 6 feet turtles, because then you start talking about 6 feet turtles, and then somebody draw the tail in the wrong place. Now we got a whole nother different type of turtle thing going on.
Now we got
Whole
lost
other situation.
That's
You can get away with the 4 feet turtles. It's okay. It's cute. You get a 6 feet turtle with monkey arm. There's a problem. Like, no, we can't do that. But I don't know, man. With the turtles, I think the 90s, it definitely had everything. I don't know why you would change that format. You want to make something better. At cinema, the robotics back in the day was the bomb. I love animatronics. You look at some of the best movies from back in the day, the animatronics was killing it. Like, they looked real on stage. They might be funny a little times, but the puppets, the anime, all that stuff was the bomb. Now you get with the CG stuff, and you get the Bayverse. Let's go back.
Yeah. And I think with the cartoons, and then having the 87 cartoons, and then having the 1990s movie, it was like, oh snap, like, this is real, right? Because the turtles are with actual humans, and they look like, in their little humanoid, body types. Like, okay, this is realistic. This is what the turtles would be like if they were on this earth today. And then just everything that they gave us after that was just so far from it. So we never asked for that.
Hey, Queen G, I got a question for you. Actually, I got 2 questions for you. The first question is this. Since we touched on the last round earlier, we didn't touch on the regular ongoing series of the Ninja Turtles by IDW. How much do you like that? And of course, I know one of your wanting to go into the comic book moments was when Bebop and Rocksteady,
I didn't touch.
And we gotta touch on, because I already know how she felt about about it. She was gonna go up in there with the blick. She was gonna go up in there with the blick, the strap.
It was a touchy subject. I was
I
like, do we go there?
A video of Rocksteady's head. Okay, I'm not playing with him. By the way, if I ever catch you on the streets, Rocksteady, it's going down.
Office Space style. And yo, that video was so perfect. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, she's a fan of Office Space too. Like she is. Like I was like, you did that verbatim. You did that so perfect. That
my brother and I, we did a really good. We had a lot of fun with that. It was a lot of fun. But as far as IDW goes, honestly, I'm really just now diving into its focus. I read issue 44. I know what happened to Donatello. I know what happened a few issues before that. And I know what happened a few issues after that when they brought him back. But I'm really just now diving into the complete Mirage IDW stuff because I took off. I started messing with Urban Legends. And then I was rereading the Archie comics and other stuff. So from the turtle community, I pretty much know, what's going on. To be honest, I was kind of hesitant and not really being proactive about wanting to get into the series because I know it's a darker series. It's more of a mature series. And it's so far from the Archie, 87 comics that I was kind of just, I don't know if this is something that I want to get into.
That's your vibe right there, and I feel that's your vibe right there. That's your vibe, and it's on. Hey, at least it wasn't the short-lived Image book where the first page started off with Donatello getting blasted up, and then he turned into a cyborg.
What
so
the
at least
hell?
it was,
I'm like, people are telling me this. I'm like, I don't need to read this. I don't, but I'm so far into just the educate. I want to know what other turtle fans are talking about. So I just finished reading the mini series and some a whole bunch of different mini series and all this other stuff from the Archie series because I wanted to go through it thoroughly. And next week I will be fully diving into all of the IDW stuff so that I know what's going on, but I can already tell y'all, I'm not a fan because it's too dark for me. Like I like to laugh and giggle and smile, and there's a lot of stuff that happens that's not going to make me smile.
But I was just going to say about the Archies, the mutant animals, that went really dark real fast.
What the hell?
That went really dark really fast.
I was like, are we going to go back in time again and fix this? And we were like, no, them Negroes are dead. I was like, okay.
Yeah. They pretty much wiped them all out. It was like, you know what?
Twice.
I don't like them characters. Let me take them out. I don't like the way they look. Let's get them out of there.
I'm a Rayman, Mondo Gecko, all that.
Right.
That makes me think of something, and that maybe you guys will be able to tell me. Ninjara, what was her other name? I don't know. Raphael's girlfriend.
Yeah, it was something, but it's funny because Ninjara has yet to be introduced in the IDW.
That's what I'm saying. She's such a badass character.
She was dope.
Has Lotus been in IDW?
Lotus Blossom. I don't think Lotus Blossom has been in IDW yet. I had to go back because it's been a while since I've read because I've been reading the book since 2011, but some things I've forgotten. But I don't think Lotus Blossom has been introduced yet. Don't quote me on that just yet. But
because I know Mona Lisa was in there, and I ain't like her design.
Mona Lisa, she just came in there, and then of course Venus just came in there, and then you have of course Janika, who is another Ninja Turtle in IDW.
Well,
I don't want to.
She wasn't a mutant from the beginning, though, right?
Yeah, she was a human at first, and then she became a Ninja Turtle because she got she was a ninja woman at first, and then she became a Ninja Turtle because of the blood transfusion because she was injured and she got a blood transfusion from one of the turtles and she got mutated. So that was
I read her whole series. Once they introduced her, I was interested in her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I read about, I jumped to what happened with her, and then I started reading her own series,
Casey
like,
Jones didn't want her no more.
a couple episodes. Yeah. But I was just like, I don't know. I feel like they are slowly starting to bring back more or introducing more characters from the past
Mm-hmm.
to now. But I was
And
like,
Characters in the
Ninjara
past.
was dope. Why haven't we seen her yet? Like, I think she should be a
Ninjara was
character that they
definitely
should
cool.
bring back.
They, I have a feeling that they might end up bringing her back because now that Raphael and I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Alopex, that's the Fox girl who he has a little thing with right now in the comic books. I
I
think
want her
they're on.
toy.
She's dope. I think they're on the outs. So with that
Right,
being
yeah.
said, maybe Ninjara might come into play since Alopex seems to not be on the scene anymore because of what the Turtles are currently doing. Like they're actually teaming up with Shredder right now, with the ghost of Shredder.
The
So
Ghost.
You
so
see what I'm
they're
saying? This is some. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? The whole Armageddon game stuff is just getting out of control.
oh,
Just give me the Ninja
I
Turtles
got
back.
Hey,
I
he
gotta
just told
read
me
that too.
today
I
it's a
got it
series
right in
called
there.
Shredder Goes to Hell, and I was like, what? Where do we even get to this
Yeah,
at?
that
Like,
I
shit
Shredder,
so
what
have
the
dope
that
hell?
because
series. I have it, and
What?
I don't even know why I bought it. I'm not
Santa
gonna read
Lucio,
it.
he's
Shredder.
like my favorite artist on the IDW series. The guy who wrote and drew Shredder Goes to Hell, he's my favorite visual artist on the Turtle series. Like he is freaking dope with it. He's dope with it.
Man,
Um I don't lost my
Shredder is like their leader now, right?
pretty much
kind of.
it's cool how it happened in a way because Shredder is basically trying to atone for all the BS that he's done. And after the Shredder Goes to Hell series, spoilers for y'all, I mean he basically atones for his sins, and he wants to come back and help out his friend Hamato
No.
Yoshi's I know she's like you Oroku Saga. But he's trying to atone. He trying to say, hey, my bad, baby, my bad.
So is he a blue glowy? Is he a blue glowy? I'm just asking. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you bring back spirit besides a blue glowy. Like, is he a blue glowy or what is he?
No, he just a regular old Oroku. Regular old
Just a
Oroku.
regular old.
So he's a ghost or he's a person?
No, he look kind of hard to explain. I mean, he looked human.
Cause,
He looked like himself.
but is he
You know,
there? I don't want my turtles walking around looking crazy, like taking direction from somebody who's not
Right?
there. Like, is he really there?
I mean, they can see him. I don't know why
Oh
anybody.
man, see what I'm talking about? I knew it was leading up to that. We got
but
Michelangelo
I
smoking
ain't gonna.
pot, and the turtles having visions of Shredder being there. Come on, man.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta go back and read those books again because I just glanced over them the other day because, like I just got through telling you, dog. Forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Kudos to artists that's doing the books, but at the same time, visually, it's just it's burning my eyes. It's burning my eyes. I'm
I
just.
can't do the scribbles. Can't do the scribbles.
And y'all know that's what I was thinking about just a minute ago. Like y'all know how Shredder's Revenge came out. Shredder's Revenge, most dope game that came out last year. I want to, of course, see again a Ninja Turtles game, even if it's on that level. But I want to see it with the updated graphics. Looking like it's fluid. Looking animated. Instead of it looking pixelated. I want to see a Ninja Turtles game that's on that level, but with the fluid animation, like I got Mega Man or something like that. I want to see it look fluid, look animated. I don't want to see it be pixelated. The next Ninja Turtle game they do on that vein, because that game was perfect, and the only thing that would make it better if they had it, looking animated, looking like a
Cell
current.
shaded.
Yeah, cell shaded. Like instead of pixelated, like it was made back in the day, even though it had the mechanics of a game now. And so that's what I want to see for the next Ninja Turtle game for sure.
I
I
like
think that would
Shredder's
be
Revenge.
really cool if they did that. Shredder's Revenge was highly anticipated. We needed something like that to come back so that we can play it. The gaming world now, and where a lot of gamers are, like into RPGs and stuff like that, like myself, it would be really cool to have like an open world being Ninja Turtles, right? I think that would be dope. Like that's the next thing that they need to give us.
I want
Rubbing
me
my
some
hands like
tournament fighters
Birdman.
back. I want tournament fighters back. Give me another Ninja Turtles tournament fighters, please. I just
Yes, like
need
in
Tournament
the
Fighters
Mortal
was my
Kombat
joint,
11,
boy.
like that kind of graphics. Oh my god!
online so I can swab some people online, man. Come on. I need that. I need that in my life. But my ideal if I did an RPG Ninja Turtle game, it would be kind of like Final Fantasy remake, like
Okay,
around a
yeah.
city. Like that would be dope. And you control
What?
all four characters at the
So
same
you want
time.
to get the
That would
end
be
of the
kind of
game
dope.
for another 10 years or something?
Hey man, look, it's a vision process, okay? You got the
Take
first one.
vision.
It's the first one.
I don't want
And
to
the
hear that
second
bull.
one.
I
We're
don't want
gonna
to
get
hear that.
in 10 years we'll have the complete
Wait,
Final
25
Fantasy.
years. Wait, in
Maybe 25. I don't know. I don't
the
care.
55th anniversary of Final Fantasy 7. That's when we're gonna get part 2.
Hey man, it's coming, okay? I told you. Sooner or later you're gonna see it.
That's
Damn
what
you,
she
Final
said.
Fantasy. But
Mm-mm.
I think they did miss a lot of opportunities on Ninja Turtle games over the years. I mean, there was one good one on what was it, PlayStation 2? That was
Yeah,
like a co-op.
the 03 one.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a pretty dope game.
when the 03 series came out, that was my joint right there. That was the biggest hype for me with the 03 cartoon, where they had incorporated some of the stills, the animation from 03 cartoon and wove it into the story, and it was just like, this joint is amazing. Like that was like at the time the best turtle game ever for me.
It was.
It was
It
just
was, yeah.
freaking.
That was a well done game because they had quite a few games come out, around that time, similar to that style of play, but they just didn't do very well. But that one did. That one did
That one.
really, really good. Yeah.
It was awesome, man. I think it just gave me an idea. Y'all gave me an idea. I think I want to draw some Ninja Turtles versus Battletoads because I haven't seen that, and I think that would be kind of awesome. I would like to see the Battletoads and the Ninja Turtles in some type of form, of shape, or fashion. So I think I'm going to draw that.
Please tag me on that. I
And
would
I got you.
love that.
I got you.
And it's crazy because of the fact that the Ninja Turtles, as we all know, because we didn't just learn this in history, we was there. The Ninja Turtles, they generated, they was the opening of such so much in the early 90s, from Battletoads, biker mice from Mars, SWAT cats, all of these anthropomorphic, the animal characters,
Bipedal creatures.
even our own characters, like me and my bro Jenny Quest Gaming make our own animal characters during the Ninja Turtle era. Like it was just it was an explosion of characters that came just off of the Ninja Turtles alone from that era. And we really have to thank Matt Murdock for all this. We really have to thank Matt Murdock for all this, aka Daredevil, which I still want to see a Matt Murdock, Daredevil Ninja Turtles crossover, because I mean, for crying out loud, if it wasn't for Matt Murdock in the hand, we wouldn't have had the Ninja Turtles in the foot.
Or stick in Master Splinters. Like
So we need it. I'll be right back, y'all. I got to use the bathroom. Hold on.
he's going to go pay some dues real quick. But so I guess to give us some information for you, Queen, while we got you here on the channel. So your platform, can you explain a little bit about your platform to us, to all the fans out there, so they can know where to find you and what you do on your platform?
Oh, just like where I'm at, how to find me.
Yep, where to access you, things you're doing on your platform, things like that.
I'm TheQueenG22 across the board. So Twitter, TheQueenG22 is just like random stuff that I'm thinking. It's mostly Ninja Turtle posts. I don't even know why. It's not, my random thoughts are Ninja Turtle related always. Instagram, TheQueenG22 is like retro gaming and Ninja Turtles. TikTok, TheQueenG22 is just whatever. Facebook is TheQueenG22. It's whatever. It's just random stuff. I try to spread it out so you're not seeing my content the same. But of course, if it does well, I'm going to post it on other social media platforms. But I'm pretty much trying to dabble on the major stuff. I'm not on like the the social media platforms just for like gaming and stuff like that, you're not gonna find me there. I'm old, so I don't have time to try to figure out all this stuff out. I
You
try to
and me
keep it
both.
very simple. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, boom.
Hey man, I'm like trying to get something going on the Twitbox or the InstaFace, one of them, because I'm old too, but I I'm
It's
right
a
there.
lot.
It's a lot. It's a
It's
lot,
a
and
lot.
the funny part is kids can start and have like 10,000 TikTok followers for just posting an orange. You're like, what
Right?
is that? It's an orange, and they're like, oh my god, this is an orange. You got like 10,000 followers, but
It's
you know.
ridiculous. Some of the stuff that I see, I'm just like, why? Why are we liking this?
So, as a female content creator, how have you been embraced by the nerd culture so far? Do you think that is
She
something that
is the
you've been
nerd
welcomed
culture.
into, or how do you think that's been for you?
I not to be negative, but surprisingly, like really well. Um, just just how the world is. Sometimes things can be difficult, but the nerd culture, specifically the Ninja Turtle community, and also specifically Black nerd community, blurds or whatever. Um, it has been so welcoming. It's been really nice to meet other creators or, just people who are passionate about these geeky stuff too. Just have it's been very, very positive. I have had very minimal, weird stuff come across. Like why it's been really cool. And being in California, I know that they're out here. I'm in Northern California, and so there's not as many. I don't know. You'll have to find me one. A black females in Northern California, black females in Southern California, yes, and then of course in the East Coast. So out here, I kind of thought that it was just me that was out here geeking by myself, um, until I stopped being lazy and tried to get more active in social media, and that's when I was like, whoa, there's a lot of awesome communities, Nintendo communities, gaming communities, turtle communities, blurs. I didn't know what a blurred was till like 2021. I was like, what is that, bro?
Right.
Um,
When I first seen it, I was like, what?
yeah,
Like,
what are we talking about here? And that's
like
awesome. I and
literally.
it's so nice. So it's been really really good for me because I'm an introvert and I'm actually very quiet and keep to myself and don't like a lot of people in my personal bubble. Um, the communities have made it very easy for me to be open about who I am, where for a while out here I didn't feel comfortable, um, because it wasn't receptive when I would make mention of things that I was into. And then I live in a predominantly white area and I grew up in a predominantly white area. So for whatever reason, it worked out that I was an introvert, but people were intimidated by me because I don't know, they assumed I was out gang banging and doing drive-bys and stuff. In Northern California, no. So it was just really nice to have these communities being like, hey, this is really cool. And then I could just openly be like, oh, I'm into this, and have a whole bunch of people be like, I'm also into that. That's dope. So it's been a really, really good experience. I'm glad that I got off my ass and decided to post some stuff.
I think that is the biggest stigma. A lot of times that people think that just because you're in the nerdy stuff, that there's not other people that's in the nerdy stuff, and then they kind of put it to one type of demographic, like, only this particular persuasion is into this or this and that. But there's people all over, different shades from different backgrounds, who enjoy, 80s pop culture or anime. There's people out there. You just got to be willing to be open to them. And a lot of times we meet them, they're just like normal people. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, you growing up with a sports background, I grew up with a sports background. I could be talking with my friends about comics and then go out and play football with my other friends, and they just be like, "Man, where are you into that nerd stuff? Come on, let's play some football."
Right?
But that's who I am. I'm all over the place. So you meet different people from different shades and different surroundings, and until you get out there and meet that community, you never know. But I think that is the biggest stigma that's put out there, is that you're stuck into this bubble. No one's like you. You don't have anything in common with someone, but you never know. And I see now, as time has went on, though, with the newer kids, their attachment to anime has become so big that everybody talks about it. It's not just like one small group at lunch who's sitting there and they're like, "Oh, I got the new comic." You know what I mean? It's not that group anymore. It's everybody,
It's
because
everyone.
it's become a very huge culture. So I think that's awesome, man. You're being coming out and experiencing more of the culture, and I'm sure that being embraced by just not us but everybody that sees this is like, man,
Everyone.
she's awesome, she's awesome, let's get her on our channel. So you know
It's
I think that's
great.
great.
I went, like I was saying earlier, I went to my first Comic Con in 2019, and I was C2E2, which I didn't know. Chicago's Comic Con is like the top 3 or top 4 largest Comic Cons. I did not know that when I purchased the tickets. And when I showed up there and saw how many people were there, I was immediately overwhelmed. I sorry to say this, but I was like, oh, I fucked up, right? Like, I shouldn't be here. There's way too many people. I don't like people bumping into me. I don't like people touching me. I don't like that.
Same.
But because I was in an environment where everyone was so chill, so passionate about all this stuff that we were all geeking out over, I had no anxiety at all. I was happily bumping into all these people because we were all there sharing the same love for the same stuff, right? It was really easy to be in that environment. And I left there thinking like, whoa, maybe I'm not claustrophobic or not an introvert, because everyone was just like freaking out over the same stuff I was freaking out. People
Everybody,
weren't freaking out over bumping into each
Hmm.
other. We're all just trying to look at the same thing. It wasn't an issue, right? It was love. And so I'm really thankful to meet these communities of people that are nerds.
right, most definitely. And like you was just saying, like it was when you all are there for the same love of something in particular. It's just like, like you don't have to wonder why these people are here. Like, why they're here. They're here because they love the turtles, they love the game, and they love Nintendo, they love whatever it is that the convention is conveying of. And it's just like, okay, cool, I have found my people.
Right?
I found my people. That's awesome. And not that you needed to find your people, but it's just like to know that there are more people just outside of yourself that loves this stuff. Like my character Jelly, my whole purpose of creating her was because I created her because during that time in my life, a woman who was into stuff like this didn't exist in my head until I created one in my character Jelly, who is a superhero who is into pop culture and comics and and the such, and is also a superhero herself. And so
Nope.
so it was just like this didn't exist back in 2002, and now is everywhere. It's like, okay, like cool. Is everywhere but still nowhere at the same time, because you know
Hey man, it's gonna happen, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna spring down for you. Like, it's gonna be a spaceship of
it's
beautiful
gonna
women
all
on a
happen in the
planet.
same week. It's gonna all happen in the same week. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna become a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get married. Gonna have about 4 kids on the way, and then I'm gonna be dead. So
All the same week.
All this, that's a hell of a week.
right.
That's gonna be a hell of a
No,
week.
we ain't wishing no death though. I almost died 3 years ago, so we ain't wishing no more death. We living now, baby. We
Living.
living, no holds bars. You know what I'm saying? Call me Donatello.
Let's
That's
go.
right. That's right. Hold it down, man, with the stick. So before we got to get out of here, y'all got to ask y'all a question, man. Important question for turtle fans, long, right? If you were stranded on an island, right, and you had to take some of your favorite turtle things, and it could only be 4 things, what would it be?
Queen G.
I hate that question. I got asked, like, okay, if your house was on fire, you can only take 4 items out of the house. I was like, oh my God. I would grab my original Donatello. That was my first toy, and my mother got it for me. So I would definitely grab him. I guess I would all Ninja Turtle stuff. All
It can only be Ninja Turtle stuff. Damn it, Queen, we got to stick to just Ninja Turtles.
Jesus. Okay, so I would have. I'm gonna grab Turtles in Time. That's my favorite.
All right. Okay.
Video game.
You see the sweat bubbles? See the sweat popping on
I
the forehead?
grab him. Yeah. Are you sure? I feel like I could, like get a whole bunch of
It's
stuff.
only 4. It's only 4. But I'll tell you the trick to this
shirt.
at the end, though.
And then I think I would probably take the Comiket. I think it's like 2011 San Diego exclusive Comic-Con statue of Donatello that I have, because I really love that representation of him. He's kind of like in between the 87 and the Mirage comics and the 2003 comics, kind of all rolled in one. It's really dope. So I think I would take those 4 things, but I wouldn't feel good about it. I would be in mourning. Maybe a shirt, at least one shirt to wear, and a beanie. A NECA figure. One of the 1990s movie ones, because, I mean, God, okay, take that back. Fine. Then, no, I would grab the VHS movie, assuming that I have a VCR to play it on, right? So maybe I should get a DVD version. Do people still play DVDs? I don't know. I've gone over the 4, but so within those, I need something from the past and something from the present.
I'm just a really horrible person, huh?
Yeah, that's awful.
So Slim, before you tell her, can I tell her mine before you go to yours?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Here
we
go.
I'm gonna take the whole series of the 87 cartoons.
So we go to Slim, because Slim has probably the best list of all time. He's gonna share with y'all before we go. But I'm gonna say probably my DVD collection of Ninja Turtles, the entire 80s collection. That's the first.
You can't take a whole. You said
it's in a box set though. It's like in a box, so it's like one thing. You know
oh my God!
Like that that's only fair.
That was
That was not a setup. That was being. That was a.
I'm gonna take a whole collection. Okay, I'm gonna take a whole collection.
Well, it's in a small. It's in one box. It's in one box. So if I had to grab it, it would just be one box. So see, that's why you carry a box set. And then I would take the trade paperback of the Archie comics. So I would have that. So,
the whole comics
in a trade paperback. Yep. In trade paperback. Yep. And then I would get my I think it's 1989 JCPenney catalog with the Ninja Turtles action figures in there. I think they released like the turtle lair in there and some other things.
Yeah.
And I used to always love to look at that when I was a kid. And I was like, I'm going to point this out and circle it for my mom to tell me hell no. But it was still fun to pretend. And the last thing I think I would take is my very first Ninja Turtle, which ironically isn't my favorite Ninja Turtle, but it's my Donatello, because it was the first thing that I got from Ninja Turtles, and it's probably my most sacred. So that's my 4 things. Slim?
4
what you got?
Sets, not 4 items, by the way.
Yeah, 4 items, 4 sets.
Well, I'm the one who got the most slim pickings over here, because all of my Ninja Turtles toys got lost to me back in 2017. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now. But as far as what I have right now, I guess I would take the 2 free comic book day Ninja Turtles that I got last year, because I still have your copy, son, and mine. My laptop, which of course has a lot
all
of my
the movies and everything on there.
Yep.
You guys.
So
cheat code.
And the 4th thing would be the only toy that Well, yeah, the only toy that I have left from the Ninja Turtles toys that I have, because she fell out of the bag in my storage, but I cannot find her right now, and that is my April O'Neil, the second April O'Neil toy, because remember, they in the original line they had 2 Aprils. The first ugly one that I don't know what that was, that ugly mold of that first one, but then the second one that had the orange on her yellow jumpsuit and turtles written on her back. That's my girl right there. I have videos of her on my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, go check it out. Shameless plug here.
That's the April Turtle sex slave jacket jumpsuit she got on there. I'm serious. That's what I thought, because she's got the turtle logo on the back. She's ready for action. She was ready to go for the team.
Hey boys, is your shell hard?
Wow.
Is it 12? It's that time. So I mean, I can say my April jokes. I mean, she was a team player. Okay, she was a team player. She was the only person going down in the sewers by herself. Sometimes she would drag Irma along. You know. Sometimes
and Irma was a hot mess.
She tried to link up with Master Splinter.
Mm-hmm.
Irma?
Yeah.
Well, I know she tried to link up with everyone.
Yeah, she definitely tried to link with Master Splinter. She was like, and then she found out he was a rat. She was like, oh no, she ran away. Was that on the episode with the pizza monsters? It came from the sewer. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
She's like, oh no, 6ix9ine.
But I don't know, man. That April definitely looked like it was ready for some extra stuff. But that's just me, because I categorize all the turtles as having girlfriends and being hot, but I like Michelangelo, and luckily for me, or unlucky, it was Calla. I was like, why the hell would they put him with Calla? She looks like a lollipop
adorable.
kid. No, she's not.
She do like a lollipop kid.
My friends want to play Ninja Turtles, and they're like, oh, well, you be Michelangelo, okay. And who's my girlfriend? Calla.
We represent
To this day, man. To this day, I don't look at Wizard of Oz the same way. With the type of hate, disrespect. Don't look at it the same way.
Yo.
See, I should have played Donatello. At least Donatello get respect out in these streets. Now look who I am. Michelangelo.
I mean, the Ninja Turtle shaped my whole childhood, because I mean, the reason I call my dad dude is because of the Ninja Turtles. I call that's why I call him dude. Like, I don't call him dad or father. I call him dude. Be like, yo, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I still say dude constantly. That will never get old for me.
Never. That is the ultimate version. That's like the forever version of what people say in the ATL for a little while. Shouty. Oh my god, I hate that word.
Oh no, I think it got replaced with bruh. Like, kids see you
now. I think
like,
everybody say bruh. Like, they call their mamas bruh now.
Everyone now. Yeah.
Like, what's up,
I started saying bruh. I was like, whoa! I went from dude to bro to bruh. I was like, okay.
I seen a kid call his grandma bro straight in the grocery store. She was like, no, you can't have it. He was like, bro, come on, you tripping.
Dexter called Tanya, bro.
I'm like, that's your grandmother. What are you saying? Like, no, I saw the tripping, dog. She tripping. Like, grandma. And I swear, I think he said, like, grandma lame ass won't let me have no cereal. What?
Wow.
You kids need to watch some
yeah, they're different. They are different these days.
They're completely different. They're completely different. But man, go ahead, Slim.
You know, they've been got daggone a bottle of joy down their mouth, man. Hey, see.
I don't think that work on these kids. They might try to turn that into a TikTok video. Look what mom did for me today. I drunk.
God. Oh, this world.
I'm just saying. This is you gotta remember. That's the same kids who was doing the cinnamon challenge.
I'm going back to the 80s as soon as the time machine is built. Like,
right? I'm ready.
Just as long as I can take all my toys.
Right.
Yeah,
because that is our only flaw of the 80s. As great as the 80s was, the quality of the toys did not match our awesome cartoons. The original Megatron from Transformers. No.
You mean the trigger penis? The trigger penis? Yes, that was a horrible design. I don't know who came up with that shit.
And then somebody seconded it after.
Right, somebody was like, that's a great idea. So how he fired a gun? You pull. You know what? don't know what the bullet supposed to happen from. I don't know.
Nine
I'm good on that.
9 months later, Megatron Jr.
No, the fact that he used to tell poor Soundwave to pull his trigger all the time. Like, Soundwave pulled my trigger, and Soundwave was like, I don't think I want to do that anymore, Megatron. Like, oh, just,
That's
nah,
not
man.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen out there watching, whether you watched via the live stream, shout outs to Speaking the Quay show who came through doing the live stream. Those who are watching this in the playback, way back in the playback, way back in the playback, Maybach. We appreciate y'all for coming out. The Queen G22, the Queen G Deuce. A pleasure. I hope this was the first time. Definitely ain't gonna be the last. You know what I'm saying? You come in by any time in the club. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have. You already got your drinks. You know what I'm saying? Next time you see me swinging from the pole, you know what I'm saying? Flash dance style, water, everything. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hook it up. I ain't gonna have the Jennifer Beals hairstyle though. They don't grow like that no more. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, any last words from you, Miss the Queen G?
Yes, the Queen. No, I had a fantastic time. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It was great.
Awesome. Johnny Quest Gaming. Any last words, brother?
I mean, you can't follow up past Trigger Penis. That's really hard to
No,
follow
it's
up
pretty
on.
much a wrap.
That's pretty much it. That's the best thing ever. But I want to thank you definitely for coming out, the Queen G22. I do appreciate you for coming out. We thank you. And thank you for everybody for tuning in, America, for yet again another episode of Nerd Strip Club. And we just hope y'all be safe, be great, and keep enjoying your toys. Remember that that's the best adventure in life. Slim.
And you hold on, Queen G, because I got something really important to say. Here's the most important question of the night. For the night for you, the Queen G22, and it's this.